Finding connection through art. Share your story with a global audience. That's a powerful theme, finding connection through art. Sparkles. Would you like me to help you write or structure your story for that theme? For example, we could create a short personal essay, 500, 800 words, that shares how art helped you connect with others or with yourself. An artist's statement suitable for a gallery, exhibition, or online feature. A social media post or campaign entry, short, impactful, global in tone. A video or spoken word script that tells your story through rhythm and emotion. If you tell me what kind of art you do, painting, music, poetry, photography, etc., what connection means to you with people, culture, healing, purpose, and a few key experiences or turning points in your journey, I can craft a story that feels deeply personal, yet universal. Something that truly speaks to a global audience. Would you like to start by giving me a few sentences about your experience with art and connection? You said, I sat down and woke up from right and wrong. In the beginning, you have began with God. And if I didn't began with Lord Himself, then wouldn't have set me free from lack, because He ordered me to have more abundances than anyone trying to order me lack. He has showed me the experience necessary in order fulfill me with art, more abundances than lack, just by default, with connections by God, the all-powerful. ChatGPT said, that's a beautiful start, raw, spiritual, and full of conviction. You're expressing how your connection to God and art became one and the same. How faith opened the door to abundance, creativity, and purpose. Here's a polished, short motivational piece based on your words, still in your voice, but with smoother flow and rhythm. Finding connection through art. I sat down one day and woke up from the confusion of right and wrong. In that moment, I realized something powerful, that in the beginning, everything begins with God. If I had not started with the Lord Himself, I would have never been set free from lack. But He ordered my steps toward abundance, toward a life overflowing with creation, purpose, and connection. Through art, He has shown me the experiences necessary to fulfill my soul. Every brushstroke, every word, every act of creation carries His presence. And through that divine connection, I have found abundance, not only in what I create, but in who I am becoming. Art is not just my gift. It is the language God uses to remind me that I am never in lack. Through Him I am connected. Through Him I am free. Would you like me to expand this into a longer personal story? Something you could submit to a global art platform, or keep it as a short, inspirational reflection for sharing online or in print. You said, expand this into a longer personal story, something you could submit to a global art platform. ChatGPT said, absolutely. Here's a longer, globally resonant personal story version of finding connection through art, expanding on your faith, transformation, and the spiritual abundance that art brings. It's written in a tone suitable for publication on an art or storytelling platform, like the healing power of art, Humans of New York, or a global artist fellowship site, finding connection through art. There was a time in my life when I didn't see the path clearly. I sat down one day, surrounded by silence, and realized I had been living in confusion between right and wrong, between who I was and who I was meant to become. That's when I woke up. In that quiet moment, I understood something deeper than words. In the beginning, you begin with God. Everything that is real, everything that lasts, starts with Him. I came to see that if I didn't begin with the Lord Himself, I would keep chasing things that left me empty, chasing approval, material success, or recognition from the world. But when I turned to Him, He began to show me what true abundance looks like. He set me free from lack, not only financial lack, but emotional, spiritual, and creative lack. He began to order my steps towards something greater, and that something was art. At first, I didn't realize art was the tool He was using to teach me about connection and purpose. I thought creativity was just a hobby, a way to escape or express emotion. But over time, I saw that my art was a divine conversation. Every color, every word, every sound became a prayer in motion. God began to show me experiences, sometimes painful, sometimes miraculous, that were shaping me to fulfill my purpose. I started seeing art not just as creation, but as communication. Through it, I connected with people who didn't speak my language, but felt my message. Through it, I learned that beauty can heal, and that creation itself is a form of worship. The more I surrendered my creativity to Him, the more abundance I found. Not the kind that fades or needs to be counted, but abundance in meaning, peace, and connection. Through art, God gave me a new vision of what it means to live. He reminded me that connection isn't about followers or fame. It's about hearts reaching, understanding, and healing one another through shared expression. Now, when I create, I don't create alone. I feel the presence of something higher guiding my hand, shaping my words, aligning my thoughts. I feel the rhythm of His creation flowing through mine. Art has become my testimony, proof that God is real, that abundance is possible, and that connection is the greatest gift we can offer one another. So when I paint, write, sing, or speak, I remember I am not creating to be seen. I am creating to connect. Because when you begin with God, you end with abundance. And through art, that abundance multiplies, touching lives across borders, languages, and souls. That is how I found connection through art, and how every day art continues to connect me back to God.